In this video, we are going to see what is this act, the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Act 1989, what it is. Ratnam sought the support of law, filing his complaint under the above act to protect against the domination and violence of powerful caste in his village. This act was framed in 1989. Please underline in response to demand made by Dalit and other that government must take seriously the ill treatment and humiliation Dalits and tribal groups face in everyday sense. Already we have seen according to Article 17, untouchability it is banned or abolished even though rules are there, but the same condition it is going on in the society, ill treatment and humiliation to the Dalits and tribal groups. So government want to take care about it. For that purpose, which law came? The Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Prevention to Aristocracies Act 1989. While such treatment had persisted for a long time, it has acquired a violent character in the later 1970s and 80s. Even though it was there in the constitution, should not make any discrimination like that, but it was become the more violent character in 70s and 80s. During this period, in parts of southern India, a number of assertive Dalit groups came into being and asserted their rights. They refused to perform their so-called caste duties and insisted on being treated equally. Like Ratnam, they refused to follow practices located in the humiliation and exploitation of Dalit. And where it is happened more it happened in South India, and many people, those who become educated, what they said, we are not ready to do perform this way what they was used to do in olden days. Then this resulted in the more powerful caste unleashing violence against them. So the upper caste, what they are doing, the powerful caste, they started to violent action against the Dalit people or tribal groups. In order to indicate to government that untouchability was still being practiced, and in the most hideous manner, Dalit group demanded a new law that would listed a various sorts of violence against Dalit and prescribed stringent punishment for those who are indulged in them. So what they are asking, the Dalit group, they are asking the what the laws are they are going to make. They want to get a new law, and in that the what all problems they are facing in the society, and if somebody is doing like that, any violation of that law, they should get the severe punishment because of this particular activity. Likewise, throughout in 70s and 80s, Adivasi people successfully organized themselves and demanded equal rights and for their land and resources to return to them. So because of the forest reservation and like that, the many areas of the tribal group taken by government, and the tribal group they themselves organized themselves, and they are started to ask for their own land and resources. They too had a face the anger of powerful social groups, were subjected to great deal of violence. So when they started to ask like this question, the upper caste people started to give severe punishment, not a punishment, difficulties to the tribal people. This is why this act contains a very long list of crime, some of which are too horrible even to contemplate. The situation, the crime situation, they given a long list in this act. Which act? The Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Prevention Act of 1989. Then the act does not only describe terrible crimes but also lets people know what dreadful deeds human beings are capable of. So they are saying in the law they are saying like the terrible crimes as well as how much the human being can go down and give difficulty to other people. In this sense, laws such as these seek to both punish as well as influence the way we think and act. The act distinguishes several levels of crime. Firstly, it lists mode of humiliation that are both physically horrific and morally reprehensible, and seek to punish those who force a member of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe to drink or eat any inedible or obnoxious substance. And third one, forcibly remove clothes from the person of a member of a scheduled caste or a scheduled tribe, or parades him or her naked or with painted face or body for or commit any similar act with a derogatory to human dignity. So the in the two clause it is taken. First one, if you are asking the scheduled caste or scheduled tribe to eat the things which we are normally we are not eating, like that things, if you are asking them to eat or drink, then we will get punishment. Then we are removing the cloth of the person of the scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, or asking them to make a parade with naked body, or paint their face or body, or to do like that any type of activity which is making them to be humiliated in the society. For that also we will get punishment. Secondly, it lists action that disposes Dalit and Adivasi for their merged resources, or which force them into performing slave labor. Thus, the act sets out to punish anyone who wrongly occupies or cultivates any land owned by or allotted to a member of a scheduled caste or a scheduled tribe, or gets the land allotted to him transferred. Second clause it is coming, the disposes what things they are having, the resources they are having, that is already meant for the Dalit or the Adivasi people, and if somebody is using that one in a wrong way, they are occupying or cultivating the land owned by or allotted. It is not allotted means only given for their sake, it is kept apart from the forest. That area they can use for themselves, but not they can't sell or transfer to anybody. That is one thing. Another one, a member of the scheduled caste or tribe or gets the land allotted to him transferred, if they are rehabilitated from one place to another place, and like that situation they will get a new allotted place, that land also nobody should not take. And another level, the act recognizes that crimes against Dalit and tribal women are of a specific kind, and therefore seeks to penalize anyone who assault or use force on any woman belonging to scheduled caste or a scheduled tribe with intent to dishonor her. If we are doing something against, or even through words, and we are trying to insult or dishonor the scheduled tribe or scheduled caste women, then also we will get the punishment. So we have seen three types. First type it is mode of humiliation. Second one it is disposes. Third one the crime against Dalit and Adivasi women. So in that act they are getting many the long list we can see, and here we are taking only three types and its subdivisions. So whenever you are getting time, please take the this particular act in net and try to read clearly, then you can understand more about this particular act. Then next one, it is here it is given one two boxes it is given. Before page also there was one box. You have read Kabir's poems in your language textbook. Kabir was a 15th century poet and weaver who also belonged to the Bhakti tradition. We have studied last year in 7th standard what is Bhakti tradition. We are making means devoting the Lord through our actions or songs or dance like that in different form of activities we are trying to devote God. Kabir's poetry spoke about his love for the supreme being free of rituals and priests. He is saying like that no need of any rituals or any priest, don't no need. He is ready to love the supreme God directly. It also expressed his sharp and pointed criticism of those he saw as powerful, to whom he is saying that Brahman caste. Kabir attacked those who attempted to define individuals on the basis of their religious or caste identities. He was criticizing the people, those who are making like this distinction in the society. In his view, every person had the ability to reach the highest level of spiritual salvation and deep knowledge with themselves through their own experience. Please underline, according to him, we are going to get our self-satisfaction. How? We are having the power to reach to the highest level of spiritual salvation and deep knowledge with themselves through their own experience. From our experience we can learn many things like that. We can go very deep in spirituality. His poetry brings out the powerful idea of equality of all human beings and their labor, of which any job you can do, but all are equal in the society. Then he writes about valuing the work of ordinary potter and the weaver and the women carrying the water pot. Labor that is in his poetry become a basic understanding the entire universe. According to him, what is the basic of the universe? That is the labor. His direct, courageous challenge inspired many, and even today Kabir's poetry is sung and appreciated by Dalit, marginalized groups and those who criticize the social hierarchies in UP, Rajasthan, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Bengal, Bihar, Gujarat. Still we are using Kabir's poems to criticize the caste society or the up and downs of the society. Okay, we'll continue in next video.